Today I'm going to talk about demurrage. Demurrage is basically when equipment is held or delayed for an extended period of time, and what that results in is the railway in turn will charge a penalty to the customer. In this case, it would either be the shipper or the receiver. There are two types of demurrage. One involves railway-owned equipment, and the other involves privately owned equipment. In the case of railway-owned, the demurrage is typically levied if there involves a delay in loading or unloading of the railway car. In the case of private, it can either be a delay where the owner of the car has not given proper forwarding instructions, so the car is delayed on railway property somewhere, or when the railway goes to deliver it to that owner, the car cannot be delivered because the owner does not have the ability to receive the car yet, and that is called constructive placement. In order to illustrate to you how Demerge works, I'm going to utilize my model railway, the Okanagan Valley Railway, and show examples of Demerge in that very illustrative manner. Before I get to these examples, let's talk a little bit about Demerge. Demerge is basically, as I mentioned before, is a penalty charged to the owner or the customer, and it is based upon typically free time. So typically that free time is 48 hours or 2 days, of which the car can sit and there is no charge to the customer or the owner. However, if it goes beyond that 48 hours, then the charge is levied usually per diem or per day. So first, let's look at the example of railway-owned equipment. So on my train layout, I have a company, the Okanagan Furniture Company. They ship product abroad in boxcars. So on August 18th, they received 2 empty boxcars. And their agreement with the Okanagan Valley Railway is they get 2 days free time. So for whatever reason, they didn't have the cars loaded until the 21st of August, and that's when they informed the Okanagan Valley Railway to pick up the cars. In that example, they would get, so it's 3 days total. Subtract the 2 free days, they would be charged 1 day demurrage. Let's say, for example, in this case, it's $200 a day, so it would be a $200 charge. However, what if there was an extreme delay and the car sat there for 9 days? That would mean after 2 free days, 7 days are $1,400. That's per car. In this case, it was 2 cars, so the first charge would be 200 times 2, 400. Or in the case of the 9 days, it would be $2,800. Now let's look at an example of a private car. Here we have a tank car owned by Bungie, and the tank car was part of a mix of freight cars coming up from the United States into Canada, and it was brought into Penticton Yard. Unfortunately, Bungie, for whatever reason, did not have forwarding instructions beyond Penticton Yard. So the car sits there for, let's say, 4 days, and let's say they have 2 days free time. So they are levied a charge of $400. And at that time, after the 4 days, they did get the billing instructions to the railway. Another example is, let's say, for example, this siding here that I'm showing is the delivery siding for Bungie, and the tank car is to be placed. Unfortunately, there's another tank car there, and they cannot accept this Bungie car at that time. So in this case, the car sits. There was other issues with the siding itself that had to be repaired and that was a customer issue. So in this case, it was let's say 10 days total delay. Once again, minus 2 days free, 8 days demurrage. That's $1,600 charge. Now you might suspect that the railways are doing this as another stream of revenue, and that is actually not the case. The railways of today are based on fluidity. So what they want to do is they want to move equipment from point A to point B and earn revenue that way, and they want to keep that equipment moving and utilize those assets to the maximum. If those assets sit anywhere, that costs the railway money. Or if it's a private car, it's taking up space on railway property that can be utilized for other uses. So in each case, it's a cost to the railway. So basically what demurrage is, it's not a system of generating revenue. It's really an incentive to the customer or the private owner to take action and get the car moving or loaded or unloaded. I hope that my explanations and the examples that I've shown has helped illustrate how demurrage works. And if you're interested in other topics with regards to railways in the industry, please drop me a note and I will see if I can help you in those topics as well. Thank you for watching another video in my Railways in a Nutshell series focused on educating people on railway subject matter. If you like this video and are interested in seeing more of this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have suggestions for other railway topics, feel free to send them to me.